Hi there, it's mattyfu here. I'm going to run through the what sold on eBay for the month of July. I'm a reseller based out of Canada. I'm in British Columbia. And so yeah, I'll get started. Here, for the first one is some Eagle turquoise copying pencils. Pretty clear from the packaging that they're vintage. They're number 4375 hard. One package is missing one pencil. They're cool looking, they're made in Canada, and they're vintage. So that's why I bought them. I think I paid $2 or $3. I think it was like $3, maybe even $4, I don't know. These were on the in a bag on the wall at Value Village. I've sold turquoise brand vintage pencil leads before, and so that's why I picked these up. There were some other things with them. The one box you can see on the bottom there is ripped, so not a huge deal. Yeah, they just look cool, and there are lots of pencil and pen collectors on eBay, so they sold pretty quick, and yeah, easy to ship, not much to it. So yeah, that was a cool one. Here we have a pair of, pardon my pronunciation, Bickenbergs loafers. They're like a charcoal gray suede. I think I gave the buyer a partial refund because I caught something while I was getting them ready to send out. I think that was this one, I'm not sure. No, it wasn't this one, sorry, that wasn't even this month. So, yeah, just pretty like fancy high-end loafers, really cool soles. They're clean. I don't really like cleaning suede, so if something's suede and it has a stain or is dirty, I usually don't buy them. So yeah, you can see there's stickers inside, so they haven't been worn very much. Yeah, pretty cool. I think I got these for like $10 and sold them for $29 plus shipping. What do we have here? Oh, a slide ruler. So this is kind of, I've got a lot of these slide rulers. I'm a nerd, so that's why I have a lot of like office and math and pencils and stuff. That's a section of the thrift store that just draws me to it. So I like to look at old rulers, and I have plenty of my own. And so I come across a lot of slide rules, which are for doing math, if you're not familiar. This one had a leather case and the instructions with it. It was $1 at a thrift store. See if we can get a bit of a better view. So yeah, it's super clean. It's made of plastic. It's not really old, probably from the 70s, but really clean, made in Canada again. Yeah, pretty neat. I sold it to the address was a university one, so I don't know if it's a professor or a student, but yeah, kind of cool. $1 to $20, can't complain there. Here we have a Huey color correction USB accessory. So yeah, this is for calibrating your monitor to certain specs. It'd be useful for someone who does like photography or ad design, things like that, where you want the colors on your monitor to be exactly how it'll print off. So it's kind of cool. I've previously worked in an industry that had, I knew that products from the Pantone, or however you say it, corporation, are generally expensive. So I picked this up, I think it was like $4, and it sold for $25. So that was kind of cool. It's it's been used, even though it's in the box. So it's used with its original box. And there's like scribbles on the box and stuff too, and whatever. Came with all the software. Pretty cool. So that sold for $25 plus shipping. Here's these are ones to watch for. They're just like old Microsoft Office discs. Had the product key inside of it. When I take the pictures, I just cover it with a pen so that, I don't know, just so that someone doesn't use it. It doesn't really matter if I forgot and people started using that product key. It's not a big deal, but whatever, I cover it up. So yeah, this had the 2 CDs. They were both not scratched, so the case had a crack in it, and I didn't have a 2 CD holder one to replace it with, so I just put that in the condition. Buyer was happy. It sold for $15. I picked it up for $1. It was in with a bunch of CDs at a thrift store. Here we have a Micronta True RMS multimeter. It's a benchtop one. It seems like, if you're familiar with, like if you're looking at this, you might think it's bigger than it actually is. It was, let's see if I got thing with a measurement here. So 19 centimeters by, what is that, 12 centimeters. So it's actually fairly compact, but it still has lots of cool features. And the crazy thing about this is how I picked it up. So I was at the Habitat for Humanity Restore. It's a store I love. And I was in there, and someone came on the announcements and said, for the next half hour, everything in the store is 50% off. And I was like, this must be a joke. But it wasn't. They were getting ready to do some renovations, and so they wanted to clear stuff out. And it was kind of funny. Like, you could see the people who are just like, hey, cool, the stuff in my basket is half the price I thought it would be. And then there was like the people who were a bit more opportunistic, and they went from whatever section they were in back to the like power tools section. There was a guy who he took like a table saw and a like plunge router thing, like all the like big equipment. He must have had a truck with him, but it was really funny. And so I ventured over to the tool section just to check it out, and this was there for $15, which was already a good price, but for $7 there was no way I could say no, even if it didn't work. Like, I knew the test leads were worth that probably. So yeah, picked it up, tested it out. You'll see in the pictures I just have it connected to a battery, showing that it shows the proper voltage on the thing. Didn't do a whole lot more testing. I think I had a resistor that I tested out as well. But sold it. The guy who got it was happy. $50 plus shipping. Pretty sweet. This one is another one of those like stupid things that I like. This is a 12-volt portable oven. I am a sucker for stuff that you can plug into a car to make food. So I have the like lunchbox ones, the lunchbox stoves, and this is one I hadn't seen before, and so I picked it up. I used to drive a delivery truck around the countryside, so that is probably a pretty good reason why I'm into these sort of things. I never used this one. I did pick it up for myself, and then I don't drive anymore, so I'm not spending hours in my van. So I figured I'd see if I could sell it, and I got it for, I think I paid $10, which I don't know, is that a good price or bad? I don't know. And so I put it up for 40. I think I originally had it at $49, and I dropped it down to 44. And yeah, it sold, and it sold to you somewhere in Europe. I can't remember where. And they paid $80 shipping. So that's crazy. Their total price was like $120 Canadian. Haven't heard anything back from them. I assume it's made it to them by now. Hopefully they're happy. So yeah, that's cool. Here we have a tiki mug. Look at what that sold for. This is for the Tonga room at the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco. So I'm assuming that's either a bar there or a theme room that you can get. Yeah, it's pretty, I don't know what to tell you. It's a tiki mug. I picked it up because I could tell it was cool. I figured it would be a $20 thing. I never looked it up when I saw it. Got home, and there was a previously sold one for $90. It was in a bit better shape, I'd say. Like it had, I think it was basically new in box, whereas this one is like, it's very clean. Doesn't look like it's been used or washed or abused or anything. It has the sticker from the manufacturer on the bottom. So it's like in very good condition. I don't know how old it is either. Like it looks pretty 70s, but could be later. So I just priced it underneath the previously sold one. I think there were a couple other, I'm not sure if there was another one of these listed on eBay at the time. It sold for $80 plus shipping. It went to the States, and it sold to a microbrewer out there. So pretty sweet. And it didn't sell to San Francisco. It was another area, different state. Here we have a Tanqueray Gin bar mat. It's large. It's like this way is 17.5 inches. So yeah, it's big. This is a big one. I picked it up for $2 at a thrift store, which is, I couldn't believe how cheap it was. Really, really clean. Not much to it. It wasn't really clean when I got it. I had to wash it quite a bit. There was lots of like, I don't know if it was lemon or lime, but like the little citrus flecks were stuck in between those little nubs. So yeah, worth cleaning. Sold for $34 plus shipping. Went to the States to a military base, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Here we have some clipless bicycle pedals. I had these listed forever. These were one of the first things I put up. I grabbed them. These were from Value Village, and the reason I picked them up is because they have a price tag on them for $89.89. If you look, they're pretty like scratched and dented, and I did some research into them. They're not a great brand. Like they're not a super desirable brand, I should say. So they're like middle of the road. So I priced it for someone who was looking to try out clipless pedals, and told them, hey, look, there's a price tag on it. At one time, these were $90, and you'll get them for, person bought them for basically $30 shipped. I don't know if the like scratches and dents are just from being stored on a shelf, or if someone tried them out for a couple days and then didn't like them, but they eventually sold, so I'm happy. Here we have a curling hat, or another word for it is a tam o' shanter. This one's pretty neat. Size large, made in Canada, wool. The top part is all wool. Let's see, the inside is pretty cool. So it's the fleur de lis, made at the Dorothy Knitting Mills in, I want to say, Ontario. I'm not sure. I picked it up in just like a big bin of hats that were $1 each, and I sold it for 29 bucks. And they have left positive feedback and they're happy with it. The lady bought it as a gift for her husband, and they're both happy. So am I. What else we got? Okay, this is a Rain Design M stand. It's a laptop stand, kind of designed for MacBooks and whatever they call those now. It's basically solid aluminum. It's got a couple of rubber feet on it. This had some, what would you call it, oxidization, or I guess it's, do you call it that when it's on aluminum? So yeah, it had some stuff on it that I wiped off with Barkeeper's Friend. It's just a cleaning product. Has some scratches, so that's what this picture is showing on the corner there. But yeah, I think these retail for around 90 bucks. On eBay, they go for a fair amount less, like 60 bucks is pretty standard. New, this is a used one, and the used prices were kind of, people, it's like anything. If you look at what they sold at auction, you'll be like, I don't even want to buy this thing. So some of the ones at auction went for like $10 or $17. But if you go and look at the buy it now solds, there were some in the like $30 to $40 range. So I priced it in the middle because it's not in perfect condition, and it sold for 35 bucks plus shipping, and I picked it up for $2 at a independent thrift store here in town. So that's pretty nice. Here we have some film developing tanks. Super clean. I would definitely take a bet that it has never been used. The only thing missing was the like cardboard box it came in. Has the instructions, and the like thing that locks the reel in place was in its own little envelope. So I don't think it's ever been used. I picked it up for $4 or $5 from Value Village and sold it for 30 bucks plus shipping. I've got a couple more of these to list. Not nearly as good a condition. I have my dad's from when I grew up. We had a dark room in our basement that he used for his work. He wasn't a creeper or anything. So yeah, Patterson developing tanks. Keep an eye out. The funny thing is, just the other day, while I was at the Restore, there was a really cool, it looked like stainless steel, could have been a different metal, I don't know, Kodak developing tank in like, it had this really cool wooden box. It was missing the top, but whatever. But it just looked really cool, and it had a reel with it and probably everything you needed except for the top to that wooden box. And I looked up the solds on that, and they were like $10 or $15. So I don't know if that's just because people can't actually use that particular model for doing 35 millimeter film or what. But I was shocked. I thought for sure I was going to be taking that home, but it wasn't worth it, so left it. Here we have a laptop battery for Acer Aspire 1 laptops, which I believe are like those really little laptops. I picked this up, it was like $2 from an out-of-town value village, and it took me a while before I listed it because I don't know, it just did. And so yeah, it sold recently for $22, so I did pretty good there. And I had to do the research on how do you ship a lithium-ion battery within Canada. I'm pretty sure I had this only available to Canada because I just didn't want to figure out how to ship it internationally. It's never been opened. It's basically someone got this, and by the time they got it, they gave up on their laptop or something like that. And so I did the research on how I can properly ship this within Canada. So following all the hazardous goods rules and whatever. And I made a YouTube video for that. So if you are interested in that, go ahead and have a look at my other videos on YouTube. It should be the one right before this. Okay, so yeah, that one I did about 10 times what I bought it for, so that's pretty nice. Here we have a Thermarest Proton camping blanket. Super high-tech stuff. I think the MSRP on this is like $140 Canadian. This is basically brand new. It still has the tags on it. Don't think anyone had taken it out and laid it out until I took these pictures. The tags are a bit worn and crumpled. I don't know if that's even fair to call them crumpled, but they have a bit of wear and they've been squished. So yeah, I bought this for $20, which I was surprised, like, because that's what it looked like in the thrift store. And I was like, oh, please be priced like a used pillow, you know. But I guess someone there had a bit of an idea of its value. Even so, $20 is a steal of a deal. But if I could have got it for $1, I would have been pretty stoked. But whatever. So I originally had it up for $120, I want to say. And I didn't want to have to hold on to this until next camping season. It's possible that like as summer went along and it gets a bit cooler, demand would go up. But I wanted to sell it right now. And so I dropped it down to $94 and it sold. So made some good money there. Here we have a Sony Discman. I tested it out, it works. Can you see that on there? No. Yeah, decent shape. Has some scuffs and scrapes on it, but nothing crazy. I bought it for, I'll say $3 or $4, sold it for $30 plus shipping. Here we have a Wizard of Oz quilting fabric. Up here, that top panel has been cut. And the awesome thing on this one is I had someone message me who is super rude. They basically said that, oh, because that's cut, the whole top portion is garbage and can't be used. And I knew that wasn't true. Like, that for certain quilting projects, that may be true, but you would still never throw it in the garbage because those are totally usable, like, quilting patches, essentially. So that frustrated me that they were doing that whole like negotiating tactic where they call the thing that they want to buy garbage. It's disingenuous, and so it's frustrating. So that annoyed me, and then they hassled me and said, your shipping is crazy. I know you can put this in a padded flat rate envelope for $8 and get it to me here in the States. And so I sent them back, being polite and professional, and said, I live in Canada. There's no such thing as padded flat rate envelopes here. Sorry. The shipping you see on eBay is what it costs. And I said that I'm not taking offers on this at this moment, so that the price is what it is. And they responded and were like, oh, I send padded flat rates to Canada all the time. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, that's great. And then, okay, the next day I got a offer from someone who was local to me. And they said, can I do local pickup on this? Yes, you sure can. And so they paid that day, and a couple days later they came and picked it up, and they were great. I was actually able to, in my inventory of unlisted stuff, which is massive, unfortunately, I had another Wizard of Oz fabric piece, and it was, I had looked up the comps on eBay, and it was like just on the brink of like, should I bother listing this, or should I just like release it back into the thrift store? I paid $1 for that other one. I just threw it in for these people. So they were very happy. They left me feedback and they were great. It was nice to meet them. Here we have another one of those Tanda Luxe acne treatment heads. You've probably seen these in my previous video. I'm basically selling 1 or 2 of these a month. I picked them up for, I think it was $12 or $15 from the clearance section at Shoppers Drug Mart. And yeah, they sell for double what I pay for them, 1 or 2 a month, like I said. There's 2 different kinds. There's one that is in a blue box, and there's one that's in a red box. For whatever reason, the blue box ones sell. They all sold. Like, they were the first ones to go. Now that I'm down to just the red box, they are selling. So if you ever see the blue box ones, they're not called Luxe, they're called something else. I can't remember right now, sorry. And the Wizard of Oz one, I got that fabric swatch for, it was like $2 or $3. And the one, like I said, the one I threw in I got for $1 because it's small. Here we have a Logitech Harmony programmable remote. It's pretty fancy. It has a screen on it, and you hook it up to your computer and whatnot. I did test this out and used it at home, and it works good. It has a scratch there on the battery door. Doesn't really affect anything. Sold it just the other day for $34 plus shipping. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And I think I paid like $7 for this at Value Village. And last one is these Nike Alpha Strike 3/4 cleats for football. Super clean. I cleaned them up real good. They had hardly any. There was nothing on the top portion. On the bottom of the cleats, there's a bit of dirt, like someone had worn them out, but clearly not very much. So I was able to get them real clean just using a toothbrush and some OxyClean. Sold them to within Canada. So yeah, $30 plus shipping is what they went for. I picked these up, I want to say they were like $15, so I doubled my money. For the amount of work, I don't know if I would do that again. Cleats are a funny one. I did a bit of an experiment where whenever I saw soccer cleats for $1 or $2, I would pick them up and take them to a local consignment place, and they sell used cleats for, I'd say most of them are $12 to $25, and they take 40%. So the good thing about that is I just wait until I have like 10 pairs or so and take them and drop them off there. And so it takes me nothing, like aside from paying for them at a garage sale. That's the only work I do. But to like clean these ones up, take pictures, and put them on eBay and then ship them out and everything, to make, you know, $15 or $20, whatever it may be. I'm not sure it's the best use of my time. But the thing is like with Nike cleats, when you see them, like these are in very good condition. I don't know the stuff well enough to know the difference between $100 used pair of cleats and a $30 used pair of cleats. So that was kind of the gamble that I took. And because I'd paid $15 for them, it wasn't, I may have lost money if I took them to the local consignment store and they decided to price them at $30. So this was my best bet to get my money out of it, and I did make some money, so I can't complain too bad. But yeah, that's my video for the last month, for July. Yeah, you can see this one was actually August, but you know, basically 30 days is what the last, what was it, 21 items were. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I do these every month, you know, within a day or two of the end of the month. So if you're down for watching that, please subscribe. Thank you.